All right, coaches, let's go ahead and let's go through Thursday, February 9th. So today is another kind of workshop day, okay? We are going to be working on muscle-up drills or a high pull-up drill for those that cannot do muscle-ups, okay? If you need advice on what your athletes who cannot do muscle-ups or not around that option need to do, please reach out to me. I can give you a bunch of drills, bunch of options, but I am going to, in this video, go through a couple options for the muscle up, and I don't want it to go super long. So if you don't need any help with muscle up practice, I would just fast forward a little bit until I get to the workouts and we kind of go over that, because the next couple of minutes I'm just going to be going over what we would want to look for in a muscle up. Okay, so in our muscle ups, okay, there's several things that we could do or what we could look for, okay, but when we have a big class, we want to figure out what is the most important thing we can work on in order to help our athletes get better. And it's going to be 3 things I want you to look for today, and it's going to be the kip, the turnover, or the press out, okay? So it's going to be one of these 3 things that we need to work on in order to get them better at the muscle up itself, okay? Usually people are not going to have an issue with the press out if they can't get over the bar, okay? So we don't really need to worry too much about the press up unless you have somebody that is getting over the bar or into the rings and catching the rings but can't press out, okay? So we're not going to spend a ton of time on those drills, but the turnover and the kip could be an issue, okay? So with the kip, we want to make sure that when our athletes are kipping, that they are able to keep their heels together, okay, and really start pulling down on the flats, okay, making sure that everyone off with a good, nice kip. For your warm-up, for your warm-up, warm up your shoulders really well, and really focus on your grip strength on the rig, really focus on their kip on the rig. That will make it easier as you get into your practice, okay? Because we're going to start with that. So once you can see whether or not they have a good kip or not, if they're not able to get a good kip or a consistent kip, have them focus on that during their muscle up time, okay? You can even introduce maybe some Russian push-ups as well to give them like something they can bounce in between. But if they can't get the kip, we really need to start focusing on that kip, because you need the kip for the muscle up, you need the kip for the pull up. So in order to do any of these efficient gymnastics drills, we really need to hammer that down, okay? So that's the first thing we're going to look for, is can they kip? The next thing will be is can they kip their hips to the bar? Can we get high in that kip, at least past your chest, okay? If somebody cannot kip the bar past their chest, if you're looking at it sideways, we need to focus on that, helping them get a more aggressive in their kip, really work on pulling down and using those lats to swing, okay? So we want to make sure that they're in a good kip and that they're able to get their hips to the bar, or again, at least their chest, okay? If they are at the point where they're getting their chest and their hips high enough, okay, then we can start working on the turnover, okay? Really quickly, I want to show you just a couple drills that we can use to help them get those hips to the bar. So, I'm going to go from a side angle so you guys can see a little bit better, but we want this box in front of the rig, okay? When I see people do muscle ups with the box is always right underneath the rig, and that doesn't help us hold a hollow position like it should. So make sure that that box is in front of the rig. That way when they start in this hollow position, okay? Then what we can do is we can come to the edge of the box. So one foot is hanging off the box. We are then going to have them swing in, jump, swing in, and really try to get them to have that foot help them as they pull down and get those hips to the bar, okay? Once we have that done, we want to work on the turnover. The turnover is when we turn, and now we're on top of the bar. So, here, okay? So we should be able to get there. And then our press out is there. So what can we do to help people with the turnover, okay? This would be, again, a good time to keep this in front of us. So now we're going to put both feet on the box. We're going to swing through. We're aggressively going to jump and then turn over and then push up, okay? By keeping the box in front of them, it's going to force them to pull with their lats and turn over as fastly as possible. If you have somebody who is able to get their hips to the bar but cannot do this, then let's go ahead and we're going to have them then put the box under the rig, okay? And then what we're going to do is we're going to have them put their feet in front of the rig, come through, come here, have them stop in this position, okay? So swing, pause, jump, and turn, okay? Again, my feet are in front of the rig, okay? So if I was here, my feet are in front of the rig, but the box is under it, okay? And the reason for that is I do not want it to be a jumping pull-up, okay, for this particular drill, okay? We want them to have to come around the bar and pull under, okay? If we start teaching to just be underneath the bar and turn, okay, then we have to fix that and get them behind the bar again. So those are a couple of different turnover drills that we can use to help them get underneath the bar, okay? And lastly, another good turnover drill is going to be a Russian push-up, okay? So we come to the floor. We're going to come to our knees, our elbows. Now we are going to, as fast as we can, get over our wrists and then press out, okay? That motion of going from here to here is a turnover, okay? Here to here, it's a turnover, but we're just on the floor while we do it, okay? So I would just work on those three things, get them through on those things, and then for those of us that can do muscle ups, okay, and we're cycling those muscle ups, then let's work on things like staying close to the bar as we come down, and work on being more efficient in your cycle, okay? After your muscle up drills, we're then going to go into an 8-minute EMOM of muscle ups, okay? Either ring or bar, or a high pull. Again, looking for that high pull. If they're not able to do a muscle up, they can do muscle ups off the box, totally fine. 8 minutes, depending on the level, it will tell you how many of each of those you want to do. After the 8-minute EMOM, we're then going to go into an 8-minute AMRAP. Go ahead and let your classes rest a little bit in between. You will have time today, so you don't need to go from an 8-minute EMOM right into the 8-minute AMRAP. Give them time to rest. Then we're going to do that 8-minute AMRAP, shuttle sprints, V-ups, and GHDs. Because we've been focusing all day on keeping that nice tight form and keeping that hollow body position, for the V-ups, I want us to continue this trend, okay? So we're going to start here, and then we can do alternating if we want, but I want this long, okay? What I don't want to see is this. Okay? We're not going to break at the hip, we're not going to break at the knee, okay? Nice and long, and really work on those hip flexors and reach for those toes, okay? Yeah, I'm really excited to see how this one goes. I think that having these days where we're able to focus on drills and help our athletes get better is going to be really exciting for them week to week. So if you have any questions, again, let me know, and I will see you tomorrow.